Hi yogis, and welcome to our beginner flow practice. My name is Brittany and I'll be guiding you through our practice today. We will begin lying on our backs, so making your way down onto your mat, and maybe your feet come to the outer edges of your mat, toes to fall out towards the sides. And the arms can come alongside the body, palms facing up, or option to have the palms resting on top of the belly for a little more grounding. So checking in with what you need as we begin to arrive here on our mats. Taking this time to settle in. And just noticing any noises happening within your space. And can we begin to tune out any noises and begin to tune into our own body? Maybe observing any sensations happening here. And just observing your physical body. Maybe noticing your breath. And just whether you're breathing in through the nose or the mouth today. On your next inhale, beginning to trace your breath, feeling the chest, the ribs and the belly begin to expand. And then the exhale as everything begins to draw back in. Noticing your own natural rhythm and pace of breath. And can you begin to lengthen out your breath? We'll begin to find some soft and subtle movement through the body, maybe starting with wiggling the toes, circling out the ankles, wiggling the fingers, and then circling out through the wrists. Option, if it feels comfortable in the body, nodding the head from side to side. And on an inhale, we'll reach our arms up and overhead. Our legs will draw together and toes to point towards the front of the room. Taking an inhale here. And an exhale. We'll begin to walk both our feet over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe begin to notice any sensation coming up from our left ankle up to the top of the left hip. And then slowly our arms can begin to walk over towards the right side of our mat, keeping a gentle bend to the elbows. And observing any sensation from the top line of the left hip up towards the left shoulder. Breathing in through the left side of the ribs. And the option to explore sensation here may be the left ankle crosses over top of the right. And if this is a lot of sensation, keeping the left ankle uncrossed. Continuing to find our breath. And then we'll uncross our left ankle, begin to walk the feet and arms back towards center, and then pause here for just a moment, taking another inhale and an exhale. And we'll begin to walk our feet over towards the left side of our mat this time. And observing any sensation coming up from the right ankle to the top of the right hip. And then beginning to walk our arms over towards the left, keeping that generous bend of the elbow so that our shoulders can relax a little bit away from our ears. Breathing in through the right side of the ribs. Maybe this side feels a little different than the other, and know that that's okay. Option, if it feels comfortable in the body, crossing the right ankle over top of the left. Maybe observing if this is changing the sensation through your body. We'll uncross our right ankle from over top of the left, walking our feet back to center, arms back through center. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, draw one knee in towards the chest and then the other. Option to catch for behind the thighs or the tops of the shins, whichever is more accessible in the body today. And we'll gently rock from side to side. Just observing any sensations coming up through our low back. And then the knees will come back through to center. And we'll interlace our fingers over top of our left shin. On the inhale, extend your right ankle up towards the sky. And on the exhale, lower the right heel all the way down to the mat, rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Inhale, belly expands towards your left thigh. And exhale, maybe the knee draws in just a little bit closer. This time on your exhale, the left knee will begin to draw away from the body, hugging it up towards the armpit. And just allowing the left hip to open here. Maybe the right palm comes to rest on top of the right hip, keeping it rooted down. And then on an inhale, left knee comes back in towards center, and then hug the right knee in to meet the left. We'll take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to interlace the fingers over top of your right shin and extend the left heel up towards the sky. On the exhale, left heel connects all the way down towards our mat, rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Inhale, belly expands towards your right thigh this time. And on the exhale, maybe the right knee draws in just a little bit closer. And the right knee will begin to draw over towards the right side of the mat and up towards the armpit. Maybe the left palm comes to rest on top of the left hip, keeping it rooted down. And just observing if this side feels a little different than the other. And know that that's okay. Next, inhale, right knee comes back in towards center. Draw the left knee in to meet the right, and this time palms will come behind the thighs. We'll begin to rock along the spine if this feels comfortable in the body today. If not, rocking onto your side, we'll meet up in a comfortable seat at the top of our mat. Taking our time to arrive here. And we'll root through our sit bones, stacking our pelvis with our ribs and softening the shoulders away from the ears. Taking an inhale, feeling this length through our spine. And exhale, the softening of the belly in towards our spine. Taking another inhale. This time on the exhale, our left ear is going to draw over towards our left shoulder. Feeling the stretch through the right side of the neck. An opportunity to explore sensation here. The right fingertips can begin to walk over towards the right side of your mat. Maybe this is enough sensation for today. Or option to bring the left palm to the outside of the right forehead, gently guiding it towards our shoulder. And then on an inhale, left palm guides the head back up towards center. We restart, taking an inhale and an exhale. And on our inhale, we're dropping our right ear over towards our right shoulder. Feeling the stretch through the left side of the neck. Maybe this is where we'd like to stay for our practice today. Maybe we begin to walk the left fingertips over towards the left side of our mat. Observing if the sensation begins to change. Maybe we bring the right palm to the outside of the left forehead, gently guiding the ear over towards the shoulder. And then on our inhale, right palm guides the face back up towards center, taking an inhale here. And then exhale. Inhale, arms will reach out and up. And on your exhale, the right palm is going to cross over towards your left knee as the left arm begins to draw behind the body, keeping the chin in line with the chest. On our inhale, lengthening out through our spine. And exhale, feeling the navel draw in. Inhale, arms will come back up towards center. And this time on our exhale, left palm crosses over towards the right as the right arm draws behind the body, chin in line with the chest. Inhale for that length. And exhale to soften. We'll begin to link our breath with our movement on the inhale, reaching up. Exhale to cross over towards our left. Inhale to reach up. And exhale, tapping over. Last one, we'll reach up. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, we'll reach back up. And on the exhale, palms plant in front of the body, fingers spread wide, rooting through the knuckle pads of the fingers. We're going to stack our wrists with our shoulders and the knees underneath the hips, coming into our first tabletop position. So taking our time to settle in here. And if the knees are feeling sensitive today, keeping the toes tucked underneath. Maybe the tops of the feet plant down. Rooting through the index finger and the thumb, our elbows are going to draw in towards one another. And then we're just going to rock a little bit forward and back, checking in with how our wrists are feeling today. Maybe a little bit from side to side, drawing circles through the hips and with the upper body. And then coming back to stack the wrists with the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Taking an inhale here. And then tucking the toes underneath. On the exhale, hover the knees an inch or two away from the mat. Begin to engage through the core so navel draws in towards the spine. Checking in with our breath. Smooth and steady here. On your next inhale, our sit bones are going to reach up as our thighs press back, finding our first downward facing dog and taking some movement here that feels really good. Maybe that means bending through the knees or coming up onto the tippy tops of the toes. You can even nod the head from side to side. Rooting through the index finger and the thumb, elbows draw in towards one another. And then maybe we bend slightly through the knees so that we can begin to lengthen out through the spine. On an inhale, left leg reaches up and back. And on the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, planting the foot between the palms and lower the right knee down. Maybe we begin to walk the left foot forward so that the ankle and the knee can stack. And on the inhale, reaching the arms up towards the ceiling. Taking an inhale. And an exhale. Checking in with our body here, stabilizing through the legs. Drawing the thighs in towards one another. Taking an inhale. And an exhale. Next inhale, palms will plant down to the mat. And on your exhale, the left palm is going to trace the left shin as it begins to reach up towards the sky, finding our easy twist. If you have blocks handy, you can bring a block underneath the right palm, finding some length through the arms, creating some space. We'll take another inhale. And on the exhale, left palm will plant back down to the mat. Tuck the right toes underneath and lift the right knee. Take an inhale here. And on the exhale, step the right foot all the way up to meet the left. Inhale to find a neutral spine. Palms can come to shins or thighs. And on the exhale, soft bend of the knees as we fold forward. Inhale as we begin to rise up. Arms can reach out and up or forward and up depending on the space that you have. And exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, we'll reach all the way up. And exhale to fold forward. Palms will plant down to the mat. An option here to walk, step, or hop to the back of your mat. Inhaling through plank. And on the exhale, knees will come down to the mat as we lower all the way down. Tops of the feet will root down to the mat. And then on the inhale, chin and chest to lift, back of the neck is soft. Exhale, forehead comes all the way down. Inhale to tuck the toes underneath. Option to press up through hands and knees or through plank. And on the exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, downward facing dog. On the inhale, right leg reaches up and back. And on the exhale, step the right foot between the palms, lower the left knee down. Option here to walk the foot forward to stack the right ankle and knee. And then on the inhale, arms reach all the way up. Taking a few rounds of breath here, settling into our legs. Feeling grounded and stable here. Taking another inhale. And on the exhale, plant the palms down to the mat. This time, right palm will trace the right shin as it begins to reach up towards the sky. And always option to bring a block underneath the left palm if we have one at home. Taking another inhale. And on the exhale, our right palm plants down to the mat. Inhale to tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, step our left foot all the way up to meet the right. Inhale for our halfway lift. Neutral spine, palms to shins. Exhale, soft bend the knees as we fold forward. Inhale, begin to rise up, reach up. And exhale, palms together at heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale as we fold forward. Bending enough through the knees so that the palms can plant down to the mat. Walk, step, or hop to the back of your mat here. Inhale through plank. And on the exhale, lower the knees. We lower all the way down to our mat. Inhale, chin and chest to lift. Exhale to lower. This time on the inhale, pressing up, keeping our knees to the ground as we reach our sit bones back towards our heels. Our big toe mounds will come together and the knees will come as wide as it feels comfortable in the body. Our hips will extend back towards our heels. Maybe we find a block underneath our sit bones or maybe underneath our forehead. Taking a moment here and finding our breath. And then slowly we'll stack our wrists with our shoulders. Knees will come back underneath our hips. Taking an inhale here, finding our tabletop position. And then exhale to tuck the toes underneath. Begin to reach the hips up. Press the thighs back, finding our downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. On the exhale, draw the left knee in towards the chest, plant the foot between the palms. And this time we're going to pivot our right foot to become parallel to the back of our mat. On the inhale, reaching the arms up and overhead. And then we'll settle into our warrior two. Maybe our front foot walks forward or back, checking in with how this is feeling through the hips. And then once this feels okay here, our arms will extend to become parallel with our mat. You can take the gaze over the top of the left palms or maybe back towards the right. And then on the inhale, reverse the left palm up towards the sky. On your exhale, reach the left arm up and overhead as our right palm connects to our right thigh. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Inhale, we'll come back through to center. And on our exhale, our left forearm is going to come to the left thigh as the right arm reaches up and overhead. So bending through our left knee, take another inhale and exhale. Inhale to come back through to center. And on our exhale, windmill the arms to frame the left foot. We're going to pivot onto the tippy tops of our right toes and then step the left foot all the way back to meet the right. Inhale through plank. And on the exhale, sit bones reach up, thighs press back, our downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up and back. On the exhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest, plant the foot between the palms. And this time we're pivoting our left foot. And then inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Checking in on this side, maybe we walk the foot back, maybe we walk it forward. Checking in with our front foot, what feels most comfortable through our hips, and then we extend our arms. Checking in with our breath. Maybe we find that movement of the neck forward and back. On an inhale, reversing our right palm up towards the sky. And then exhale to reach the right arm up and overhead as our left palm connects to our left thigh. Breathing through the right side of the ribs. And then inhale to come back through to center. On the exhale, our right forearm comes down to the right thigh as we reach the left arm up and overhead. Breathing through the left side of the ribs. Inhale to come back through to center. And then exhale, windmill the arms, frame the right foot, pivot onto the tippy tops of the left toes, and then we step our right foot back. Taking an inhale here. And on the exhale, knees come back down to the mat. Tops of the feet will plant down, big toe mounts to touch. Knees as wide as it feels comfortable in the body, and then sit bones back towards the hips. And then slowly we'll walk the palms in towards the body, head to rise up last, knees will come together. And then we'll shift onto one side of the hips, legs extend out in front of the body. And we'll come about midway up our mat. And then taking our time to grab a sip of water, towel off, anything you need before we arrive on our backs. And the palms can come to rest on top of the body. And walking the heels in towards our sit bones, imagine that you could graze the backs of the heels with the tips of the fingers. And we'll heel toe our feet as wide as our mat. And gently knocking the knees from side to side, just observing any sensations coming up through the inner and outer thighs. Moving as slow or as quickly as it feels comfortable in the body. And the knees will come back through to center, and then heel toe the feet all the way to touch. And the soles of the feet will come together and the knees to knock wide. Know that you can draw the heels closer in towards the body or farther away from the body. If you find that the knees are really high today, if you have blocks, you can bring them underneath the knees just to bring the earth a little bit closer to us. And then option here to keep the palms resting on top of the belly, maybe one over the belly, one over the heart. Or for some chest opening, you can keep the elbows generously bent and reach the arms up and overhead. And slight tuck of the chin in towards the chest. And just finding what feels comfortable in your body here. As we begin to settle in, slowing down the breath. An option to stay here for the end of our practice. And maybe using the palms of the hands to guide the knees back in towards center. Soles of the feet will plant down onto the mat. And then extending the heels to the outer edges of your mat. Coming into the shape that we began our practice in. If you find that the low back is feeling sensitive, if you have a block or pillows handy, you can bring them underneath the knees. Just observing our breath. Allowing it to come at its own natural rhythm and pace. Observing all the parts of the body that expand on your inhale. And the parts that contract on your exhale. Observing all the parts of your body that connect with the floor or your mat. And softening the body towards the floor. Feeling this melting sensation. If you have some extra time in your day, stay here as long as you would like. Finding this stillness in your body. Thank you so much for joining me in practice. It was an honor and a privilege to guide you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.